Good morning, everybody. My name is Zoe, and I'm joined here with my colleagues, Jason and Brian. They're both master's students in the ECEM Eng program, and I'm the specialist. I'm a registered nurse. I work at the Center for Addiction and Mental Health, also known as CAMH, in the Psychiatric Emergency Department. And we're here to present to you our app, Healthy Mind, which was formerly known as eHealth Manager. So we created this app because from my personal experience, professional experience working in the psychiatric emergency department, it can be a very overwhelming experience for a lot of patients. And they have difficulty remembering all of the information that they're told by all the different clinicians that they see in that process. So we created this app with the goal of helping the user manage the abundance of information they receive in the psychiatric emergency department. We know when people have trouble remembering this information, it can lead to readmissions and poor health outcomes. So our app achieves this function, achieves this goal with two functions. The first is that the user is able to input information that they receive from the doctor using text or audio or photo. And the second is that they're reminded of medications and appointments. And with that, we will begin our demo.
Okay, for this demo, I will be the narrator, and Zoe will be the doctor, and Brian will be our patient Bob. So Bob came to the psychiatric emergency department to receive help for his depression, and he's now ready to be discharged from the hospital, and is about to receive the information from his doctor.
Okay, hi Bob, I'm Dr. Finley, we met earlier. Just wanted to give you some instructions before you head home today.
Oh, hi, Dr. Finley. So I have some concern. So there will be so much information for me to memorize. So is there any suggestion for that?
Yeah, absolutely. I would recommend that you download the app Healthy Mind. It can help you remember all of your medications and appointments and other information we'll discuss.
Yeah, so I have already downloaded the app. So is there, can you give me a brief introduction to the app?
Absolutely. So here you can see this is your home page. And once you input your first doctor's note, your medications, your appointments, and your recent doctor's notes will all be automatically inputted into this home page. And you can also add a new note, which we can do now. So when you add a new note, you have three ways that you can do this: through a photo, audio recording, or the fill form function. So now if you want, we can do the audio recording and I can give you your instructions.
Yeah, that's great.
So we're going to be starting you on a medication called Cipralex. I want you to take 10 milligrams every day starting tomorrow morning. As well, we set up an appointment with your family doctor. So Dr. Ross will see you Friday, April 10th at 10 a.m.
Okay, that's great. So I can replay the
So we're going to
sound.
be starting you on a medication called Cipralex.
That sounds correct. So I just click on see the transcript. Oh, that's amazing. All the audio are transcribed in text. And I double check the list. It looks good to me. All right, so do I want to create a new doctor notes based on that? Yes, I do. All right, so he asked me to click on a sentence related to medication name. So the first sentence, Cipralex, confirm. So he asked me to click on the sentence related to medication dose. First sentence, 10 milligram, confirm. So he asked me to click on the appointment related information, and that seems correct to me, but I just need to input the location for our next visit. Confirm. So create a new doctor's notes. Confirm the medication information. Yes, confirm. All right, so the information shown on the dashboard looks correct.
Good job, Bob.
So after a few weeks, Bob has now improved, and he decides to visit the emergency department again. Now this time he is handed a printed doctor's note which had all the important information, but Bob was worried he might lose this paper summary, so he decided to take a photo of it.
All right, so here's another button for doing the photo thing. So I just click on that, and here's the form. All right, so yes. All right, so that's amazing. All the information in the form are pre-filled into the form. So that looks good to me. So I don't have to change anything. I just click submit. All right, so it leads me to the dashboard again, and yeah, that looks good to me.
Bob, I just wanted to tell you a couple more things about the app. I can see you're a real natural with it. If you want to review the information that you've inputted, you can click the doctor's notes page, and it will show you the recent doctor's notes that you've inputted and show you all the information there. As well, you can click on your appointments and you can see where they're located. So
Hey.
you know how far they
Wow,
are.
that's amazing. A map just pop up and you tell me where is the next appointment.
Yeah, and the last thing I want to show you is if you need to add an appointment, but you don't need to add an entire doctor's notes, you can do that by clicking the Add Appointment button. And I won't show you that for a time, but you can see the form is there for you to use. And that concludes our demo.
Thank you.
Okay, so the next part is the structure of our app. As you could see, there are 3 flows here, which corresponding to 3 ways of adding new notes. And the upper one is the photo input. After user takes a photo, our app sends the photo to the Google's Cloud text recognition API and waiting for the result. And after user confirms the result, a new note will be added to the database. And for the middle one, it's just a regular manual input. Users could fill in the form and we just store it. And for the lower one, it's the audio input flow and the user recording the audio with the microphone, and our app gonna send the audio file to the Google speech to text API after user confirms this audio and converts the audio to text. So after that, our app would get key info like medications and appointments and store them to the database. And we also have 2 additional sections. So the first one is the reminder system. So for example, the reminder on medication and appointment time. And the second one is the list of doctor's notes, like medications and appointments. So now we'll talk about our future roadmap. So in the future, we might expand the scope of diagnosis, maybe make our app not just for anxiety and depression. And we would also add a feature to allow patients' family members to help them manage their accounts and all the associated doctor's notes. And we also need to improve the accuracy of the keyword collection from the photo and audio files. So the last part is the key learning part. Okay, so we should look for the feedback from users based on the features and UI earlier on, so we could have more time to modify our app based on these feedbacks. And we also should start the difficult parts like OCR and the speech-to-text part first, because it's most difficult and it might be time-consuming. But we also have good things, like we actually work well together and we met regularly, like once a week or twice a week, and our communication is quite effective. Okay, so that's all our presentation. We are open to all the questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great. Well done. Nicely presented and lots of interesting stuff. I have a bunch of questions, but I really liked the way you presented it and explained it. I like the new name, Healthy Minds. Good, and you're very clear that it's about Emerge in mental health Emerge, which I think is a good focus. Gosh, questions. Maybe just to go with the learnings at the very end. You said you'd get feedback earlier. Can you remind us? You did actually go and talk to patients or get some feedback from people?
I did usability testing later, like once the app was created, but the idea of the app I mostly came up with on my own. So that was a learning I had, especially for myself, that I wish I had talked to more people about it.
Yeah. Interesting. That's also true in business as well. Yeah, I think you talked about this in a previous presentation, but I want you to expand it about your text extraction and analysis, which is nicely portrayed in your software structure, but jumps to the fore when you're in the presentation. You go, wow, that audio automatically populated into a form. Can you talk about that? Talk about its accuracy, and did you just say things perfectly well, or how good is that? It's quite a remarkable thing. I'm not sure who's the right one to answer that question, actually.
Yeah, so are you saying the audio to text part?
Sure. Well, let's start with that one. We'll go to the photo
sure.
too.
So,
yeah.
Actually, like the process is that you first you get the audio and you translated into text, a
Right.
bunch of text, and that's pretty accuracy. That's pretty accurate. So we sort of the API takes well, if you see the translation in real time, it will sort of correct itself
Sure, sure.
after
No,
the
it was the next
sentence.
step I was a little more interested in where,
Oh yeah, actually the information, the keyword extraction. So after we get the text, because this app is related to like the mental, like the depression and anxiety. So so that we have a list of keywords such as the medication usually like will be used to treat this sort of disease, and also the standard dose for that. So that we have a keyword list. So I
so let
basically
me
get,
just interrupt. That's like kind of where I was going. That in order for it to be a keyword type search, then the person has to say it in a very specific way. Uh, Medication is, or something like that, or are you doing something more general than looking for the
um,
word after medication, for example?
so as long as the doctor mentioned the name, the medication names, it will get that, like sort of search through the text and find the medication names.
Because you know the names of all possible medications and you're looking for those?
Yeah, because the app is pretty specific to this kind of disease. So we have a list of common use medication.
I see. Okay, that's interesting. And similarly for getting appointments and everything else. And then, is there some similar story when you go from text, picture to text recognition to keyword identification? Same kind of thing.
Okay, so for the photo scenes, we are using the pause. So it's a standard form. So the first step we did is to just divide the pause into several sections. For example, the medication sections and the appointment sections.
I see.
For each section, we just to get the keywords like the medication name, and after, and get all the keywords. For example, the dose will be after the keywords medication name. So we just make it a string
Yeah, so
to
I
get
guess
all the keywords.
so you use a standard form, so that's a little almost easier than it feels easier than
Yeah,
the
cause
text one.
yeah, using the form is much easier than the doctor's
Yeah,
handwriting things.
but that makes sense. You know, when you go to a new hospital or something, you just get their forms, and it makes sense that you could build such a system. That's cool. I like that. Um, Anything else? Oh,
Okay.
in the structure of your software, you talked about a reminder system, but you didn't demo that.
Oh, yeah, we had trouble fitting everything in.
So what does the reminder system do? It gives you pushes a notification when the day before or something, or the hour before, to tell you to go to an appointment.
Yeah, that's the thing. Cause when you add a new appointment, the user could choose to set a notification. So user will be notified like 1 day and 2 hours before the appointment time.
Yeah.
But we just don't have time to show everything in the demo.
No, that's good. Great. Very well done. Dan, any comments, questions?
Yeah, this is related to what Jonathan was asking. So with the audio transcripts, you have the transcript essentially broken down into lines on the screen. Is that just based off the punctuation of the transcript? You're just breaking it up into sentences?
Actually, like once the user finish one sentence, he will like it's based on the punctuation. Yes.
Okay. And it appeared that you were doing some kind of like annotation or matching. So
Yep.
What is the algorithm there? You are detecting keywords from your list of known keywords. And then when you find them, you're associating them with other parts of the transcript?
Like for example, for the medication, as long as the user mentioned, the doctor mentioned the medication name, like Simprox, it will find the word and to get that and store it in the database. So we have a collection called medication, and you will actually store the medication information into it.
Okay. So there was no, to me, it looked like what you were doing was you had fragments of the transcript and you were now annotating what they were. Is that correct? Or did I
yeah, so the user has to identify like which sentence contains the medication name.
Okay.
You just need to click. So
Okay.
yeah, so this sentence contains related information. So yes, that's great. Then you click on that, then the app will get the medication name and the dose for you. And also, something we didn't show is they can actually get the appointment location if the doctors mention the location, the address, and phone numbers.
Right, because you're using the entity recognition in the speech API, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, that's interesting. Thank you.
Kia?
Yeah, so based on your answers so far, I don't know how possible this would be, but was there any thought put to, like, let's say the doctor has multiple dosages recommended, like for the first week, take this much, for the next week, take this much. Would that be possible at all?
Actually, like if the doctors mention more than once, then the user have the option to click on the second, like the first one you confirm, then you click on the next. It will you will get the second medication name. So it's basically the same. So you confirm the first one, then so the next time you if there is a medication name in the other sentence, then you can do the same thing.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
You add it to the list. So it's basically the same process.
Great, thanks.
Great. Any questions, comments from anyone else? Quiet in the audience. Feel free to jump in. I guess though we should move on.